Citizen U presents UFO, where you find out.
We're the two teachers, and today we're going to teach you about the planets, the its of planning for your AP American Government and Politics exam.
That important constellation as we see it ahead is that AP American Government exam. Let's prepare for it. Let's plan it. When you plan for the American Government exam, there are certain topics, Andy, that you just have to focus on.
These are the big planets, the big 10 topics of American government politics, starting with foundations and the idea of the underpinnings of the U.S. Constitution.
You got to talk about federalism, Andy, that unique experiment here in America where we divided power between national, state, and local governments.
We also need to talk about interest groups. This is the foundation of democracy, the right to assemble in different groups.
Talk about public opinion. How do we, the people, play a role in our government? And you also talk about participation, those issues like suffrage. But don't think that voting is the only way we, the people, participate. There are a variety of ways.
And certainly those linkage institutions like political parties, not mentioned in the Constitution, but essential in the governing of our system.
Of course, don't forget about campaigns and elections. Andy, this time of year, everyone's buzzing about campaigns and elections, and you should be buzzing about it on your AP test. But don't forget about those institutions.
The big institutions start with the executive branch, the chief executive, the actual bureaucracy of implementing policy.
Let's not forget about the legislative branch, Andy. The legislative branch made up of that bicameral legislature, Congress, the House, and the Senate, representing we the people. It's really the most important branch, or so the founders thought.
And finally, Article 3 of the Constitution, the judicial branch. The idea of interpreting the laws in judicial review, seeing if those laws are in fact constitutional.
Andy, we've been looking at the Milky Way of the AP American Government and Politics test. But it's not the only constellation in this sky. We also have to plan it, and the it could be just how do we write the exam? What does the exam look like? And Andy, that may be just as important as covering the content.
Remember, the structure of this exam revolves around the words of government. You're going to be assessed on your understanding of those concepts with 60 multiple choice questions.
And you only have 45 minutes.
You have 45 minutes to tackle those. Tackle those at multiple choice. Try to narrow down your options to the two best answers and always look for the best answer.
Well, Andy, you know what my position is on that. There is only one best answer. My suggestion to you is to read each question in order. Don't skip, don't move around. Certainly guess if you don't know, but read the prompt and answer the question in your head before you even look at the options. This is not the time to have a town hall meeting on A, B, C, and D, and E. Read the question. Answer it. There is only one right answer. But how about those FRQs?
The FERCAs are they're not even questions, they're directives. Look for those key directives. You're going to get 4 FRQ questions, and each one is going to be divided into A, B, C, sometimes D, and they give you specific directives. You must tackle those directives.
We suggest that you rewrite the actual words from the prompt in your answer. So whatever the question asks, whatever it asks, write that affirmatively in your answer. Rewrite using the exact words.
But if the question tells you to describe a concept, make sure you're describing that concept completely. Try to say 3 or 4 things about that concept. If the directive tells you to explain the connection between 2 concepts, make sure you link the 2 concepts. Repeat the vocabulary and make sure you have a statement of because how or because why to answer an explanation completely.
See, Andy, we also advocate for negative white space. If there is an A, B, C, and a D, when you're done writing about your A, provide some space. Then write B. We actually encourage this year to write A, to write B, to write C. Demarcate your answer appropriately.
And finally, avoid vague pronouns. Really smart students tend to sometimes lapse into vague comments. They, things, it, stuff. Those are vague words that can talk you out of a point.
Well, speaking of pronouns, it is a very dangerous pronoun. But today here, we're looking at plan its. And the it is preparing for your AP American Government exam. Always explain your pronouns. We're the two teachers, and this has been UFO, where you find out.
Today, you found out about the planets to plan for your AP American Government exam.
No fancy words.
No fancy suits.
Plain talk about issues you need to know.
Just in time.